limited authority to switch your supplier and make good decisions and make sure that you're always on a good plan. And so this basically, I guess, how do entrepreneurs come up with ideas? A lot of times it's building something that solves a particular problem that you have. And as a homeowner in Connecticut, I did experience this problem where, I'm hearing a feedback on that.
It's the volume on that machine.
You know, in the beginning, I could barely read my electric bill. Like, they're not really made to be very simple to understand. I went to Energize CT, I switched myself, I found a good plan, I thought I was set. And I remember it was like a Sunwave plan. And I got a good rate. And then months later, I looked at my bill, and the rate was not what I had signed up for. And I called them, and they said, yeah, you know, your plan expired, and so we put you on this default rate. And I didn't understand why. I was a Sunwave customer, and there were Sunwave plans out there that were good, and I was a Sunwave customer. Like, I felt like I was holding up my end of the deal, and I felt really let down that they had kind of switched it on me without. I suppose maybe they had sent an email or something that looked like junk mail, and I didn't look at it, or maybe they didn't. One thing that I'm learning about this business is that a lot of the things that the suppliers are supposed to do, they don't always do. You can sign up for email notifications and maybe they don't always come, and we actually track this stuff on the platform. But so I had this idea. I basically wanted some service that I could pay. I liked the idea of saving money. I thought it was cool that you could choose a supplier, but I didn't want to deal with the hassle. I didn't want to worry about the pitfalls of it. And so I thought it would be really cool if I could just have a subscription, like a Netflix subscription, where it just runs and I know it's providing value and I know it's taken care of. And so I started to think about if I could build that. I mean, I knew I could build it technically, but I didn't know if there were any sort of regulatory challenges or anything like that. I asked my friends, if they would be interested in such a system. A lot of them had the same experience that I had had. And so, I got a lot of positive feedback about the idea. So my next step was I went to visit PURA, the regulators in Connecticut. And I actually met with them, and I also met with the Office of Consumer Counsel, who gets involved. Actually, they're the ones that produced that report that showed the $60 million overspend. They produce that report every year. I sat down with both of them, and I explained what I wanted to do, and one of the regulators turned to me and said, we've been waiting for something like this to come along for years. Like, they loved the idea because, you have to put yourself in their shoes. They're just getting complaints constantly, right? And they saw this as a way to protect consumers, fulfill some of the promise of deregulation, and reduce their own workload because it would presumably cut down on complaints.